Grandma's dog, Henry, died recently, and ever since then, Grandma's had a lot of time on her hands. So Mom's dealing with stuff like the cordless phone thing a lot these days. Whenever Mom finds any tabloids at Grandma's house, she takes them home and throws them in the garbage. Last week, I fished one out of the trash and read it in my bedroom. I'm glad I did. I found out that North America will be underwater within 6 months. So that kind of takes the pressure off me to do well in school. I had a long wait at the beauty salon, but I didn't really mind. I got to read my horoscope and look at pictures of movie stars without their makeup, so I was definitely entertained. When I got my hair cut, I found out the best thing about the beauty salon, which is the gossip. The ladies who work there know the dirt on just about everyone in town. And then Marlene says to Vanessa, if you're going to get up in my face, you better be ready to back it up. Unfortunately, Mom came to pick me up right in the middle of a story about Mr. Peppers and his new wife, who's 20 years younger than him. Hopefully my hair grows out fast so I can come back and hear the rest of the story. Friday. I think Mom's starting to regret taking me to get my hair cut the other day. The ladies at Bombshells introduced me to soap operas, and now I'm totally hooked. But Marissa, I love you. Girlfriend, you can do so much better than him. Yesterday, I was in the middle of my show, and Mom told me I had to turn off the TV and find something else to do. I could tell there was no arguing with her, so I called Rowley and invited him over. When Rowley got to my house, we went straight to Roderick's room in the basement. Roderick is off playing with his band, Loaded Diaper, and whenever he's away, I like to go through his stuff and see if I can find anything interesting. The best thing I found in Roderick's junk drawer this time around was one of those little souvenir picture keychains you get at the beach. If you look into it, you see a picture of Roderick with some girl. I don't know how Roderick got that picture because I've been with him on every single family vacation, and if I saw him with that girl, I definitely would have remembered her. I showed the picture to Rowley, but I had to hold the keychain because he was getting all grabby. We dug around some more, and then we found a horror movie at the bottom of Roderick's drawer. I couldn't believe our luck. Neither one of us had ever actually seen a horror movie before, so this was a really big find. I asked Mom if Rowley could spend the night, and she said yes. I made sure I asked Mom when Dad was out of the room, because Dad doesn't like it when I have sleepovers on a work night. Last summer, Rowley spent the night at my house, and we slept in the basement. I made sure Rowley took the bed that was closest to the furnace room, because that room really freaks me out. I figured if anything came out of there in the middle of the night, it would grab Rowley first, and I'd have a 5-second head start to escape. At about 1 in the morning, we heard something in the furnace room that scared the living daylights out of us. It sounded like a little ghost girl or something, and it said, "I'm hiding. Can you find me?" Me and Rowley practically trampled each other to death trying to get up the basement stairs. We burst into Mom and Dad's room, and I told them our house was haunted and we had to move immediately. Dad didn't seem convinced, and he went down to the basement and walked right into the furnace room. Me and Rowley stayed about 10 feet back. I was pretty sure Dad wasn't going to get out of there alive. I heard some rustling and a few bumps, and I was ready to make a run for it. But a few seconds later, he came back out with one of Manny's toys, a doll named Hide-and-Seek Harry. Peekaboo! Last night, me and Rowley waited for Mom and Dad to go to bed, and then we watched our movie. Technically, I was the only one who watched it, because Rowley had his eyes and ears covered the whole entire time. The movie was about this muddy hand that goes around the country killing people, and the last person who sees the hand is always the next victim. The special effects were really cheesy, and I wasn't even scared until the very end. That's when the twist came. After the muddy hand strangled its last victim, it came crawling straight at the screen, and then the screen went black. At first, I was a little confused, but then I realized it meant the next victim was going to be me. I turned the TV off, and then I described the whole movie to Rowley from beginning to end. Well, I must have done a pretty good job telling the story because Rowley got even more freaked out than I was. I knew we couldn't go to Mom and Dad this time because they'd ground me if they found out we watched a horror movie. But we didn't feel safe in the basement, so we spent the rest of the night in the upstairs bathroom with the lights on. I just wish we had managed to stay awake the whole night, because when Dad found us in the morning, it wasn't a pretty scene. Dad wanted to know what was going on, and I had to fess up. Dad told Mom, so now I'm just waiting to hear how long I'm going to be grounded for. But to be honest with you, I'm a lot more worried about this muddy hand than any punishment Mom can dream up. I thought about it, though, and I realized there's only so much ground a muddy hand can cover in a day. So hopefully that means I have a little while longer to live. Tuesday. Yesterday, Mom lectured me about how boys my age watch too many violent movies and play too many video games, and that we don't know what real entertainment is. I just stayed quiet because I wasn't sure exactly where she was going with all this. Then Mom said that she was going to start a reading club for the boys in the neighborhood so she could teach us about all the great literature we were missing out on. I begged Mom to give me a regular punishment instead, but she wouldn't budge. So today was the first meeting of the Reading is Fun Club. I felt kind of bad for the boys whose moms made them come. I was just glad Mom didn't invite Fregley, this weird kid who lives up the street, because he's been acting stranger than usual lately. Want to hear about my hygiene issues? I'm starting to think maybe Fregley's a little dangerous, but luckily he doesn't really leave his front yard during the summer. I think his parents might have an electrical fence or something. Anyway, Mom told everyone to bring their favorite book to today's meeting so we could pick one and discuss it. All the guys laid their books on the table, and everyone seemed pretty happy with the selection, except Mom. Sudoku Insanity, Ultimate Video Game Cheats, Green Wasp, Extreme Pop-Up Sharks. Mom said the books we brought weren't real literature and that we were going to have to start with the classics. Then she brought out a bunch of books that she must have had since she was a kid. Little Women, The Yearling, Old Yeller, Anne of Green Gables. These are the exact same types of books our teachers are always pushing us to read at school. They have a program where if you read a classic in your free time, they reward you with a sticker of a hamburger or something like that. I don't know who they think they're fooling. You can get a sheet of 100 stickers down at the arts and crafts store for 50 cents. I'm not really sure what makes a book a classic to begin with, but I think it has to be at least 50 years old and some person or animal has to die at the end. Mom said if we didn't like the book she picked out, we could go on a field trip to the library and find something we all agreed on, but that won't work for me. See, when I was 8 years old, I borrowed a book from the library, and then I forgot all about it. I found the book a few years later behind my desk, and I figured I must have owed about $2,000 in late fees on that thing. So I buried the book in a box of old comics in my closet, and that's where it is to this day. I haven't been back to the library since then, but I know if I ever do show up, they'll be waiting for me. Greg Heffley, you are under arrest for failing to return How to Make Sock Puppets. In fact, I get nervous if I even see a librarian. Is that you, Susan? Pat, it's been such a long time. I asked Mom if we could get a second chance to pick out a book of our own, and she said we could. We're supposed to meet again tomorrow and bring our new selections with us. Wednesday. Well, the membership of the Reading is Fun Club took a big hit overnight. Most of the guys who came yesterday bailed out, and now there's only 2 of us. Raleigh brought 2 books along with him. How to Find Garden Fairies, Me and Mommy Silly Playgroup Activities. The book I picked was the 9th volume in the Magic and Monsters Dark Realms series. I figured Mom would like it because it's pretty long and there aren't any pictures. Shadow Doom Dark Realms. But Mom didn't like my book. She said she didn't approve of the illustration on the cover because she didn't like the way it portrayed women. I've read Shadow Doom, and from what I can remember, there aren't even any women in the story. In fact, I kind of wonder if the person who designed the cover even read the book. Anyway, Mom said that she was going to use her veto power as the Reading is Fun Club's founder and choose the book for us. So she chose this book called Charlotte's Web, which looks like one of those classics I was talking about before. Just from looking at the cover, I guarantee either the girl or the pig doesn't make it to the end of the book. Friday,